Hi Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope for November 2023. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to have a look at the significant things that are happening in November via the astrology and how they influence you guys Cancer specifically. And these horoscopes are for sun sign Cancer first, then rising sign or ascendant Cancer, and finally the moon in Cancer. So the first thing that happens here in November on the 4th, we've got Saturn, the planet of security and structure. That is at 0 degrees in Pisces in your 9th house of travel and learning and broadening your environment and your horizons. Saturn is about structure and security, and that goes direct on the 4th. So what you'll find is that you start to notice a lot more opportunities for something solid out there in the world, whether that's this relationship is starting to look like potentially there could be more there, we could be serious, or whether it's the idea for a business that you've been thinking about, it kind of crystallizes and it comes together in this sense of, hey, this is actually doable, this is actually possible. It's really that vibe. It's about things that I've considered that seemed very big and really impossible to kind of achieve are now attainable, and I can actually build some real structures in my life. So you start off the month with a real sense of this is actually possible, and there's a sense of hope and optimism and motivation associated with that. On the 8th of November, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity. That goes into Libra, and it sits right on top of your IC, which is your roots. It's the cusp of the 4th house, and the 4th house is your family and your home and where you belong. So with Venus in Libra in that 4th house, it bodes really, really, really well for your relationships here in November with people who are close to you, friends, family, loved ones. At the same time, we also have the Sun, Mars, the transiting midheaven, Ceres, part of Fortune, Mercury. All of those planets are in Scorpio in your 5th house of what you love. So feeling the love and feeling a genuine connection with other people is going to be really, really important to you. And we also have Jupiter and Uranus, lucky planet and the planet of the miraculous. They sit in Taurus in your 11th house of hopes and dreams being realized, particularly as those hopes and dreams relate to other people. So I'm sorry if this is a bit much here, Cancer, but this is a great month to get married or to make a firm commitment, to really be clear on, I know deep down in my bones that I love you and I want to be with you, or that I love this job or this place, this environment. I want to buy a house here and settle here. I just know deep down that this is what I love. Both of the elements on the 8th of November are water and earth. Those are the strongest elements. They're both feminine elements. It's about connection and it's about listening to what the world is kind of offering you. So if you're open and if you're willing to receive, I think November is going to surprise you in a very pleasant way. On the 10th of November, we have Mercury going into Sagittarius in your 6th house. So now you shift gears a little bit. The relationship stuff is still really, really important to you and also very possible, and I would say all month. But now with Mercury going into Sagittarius, it's about how do I make my existing life, my work, my living situation, how do I bring more excitement and more experience into it? So it's not just about realizing hopes and dreams, it's also about looking at what's new and what could be kind of looked at in future. It's very much, I'm focused on the present and what could be, nothing to do with the past really. On the 13th of November, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and again, that happens in your 5th house of what you love. So it's going to be very easy to discern where you stand in a relationship, how you feel about it, and that's any relationship with another person or again, a job or a place. Scorpio is about diving down to the root cause of any situation, identifying it, lighting it up, and transforming it. So you're really able to change, or first of all, you're able to identify what it is you love, and then you can work with that to make it more solid. But if you recognize during that initial fact-finding process that this doesn't speak to me, this doesn't make me feel connected or alive, then you have the opportunity to kind of look around and to see what would work better for you. Which is kind of interesting because Cancer is very loyal, and you don't just pick and choose and swap your relationships depending on your mood. But this is really an opportunity, if your needs aren't being met, to say, I need them met and I'm going to make changes to ensure that happens. So the theme of Scorpio and Taurus in your 5th house of what you love and 11th house of hopes and dreams, that's really the key focus from the 13th of November through until the 23rd. So that 10-day period, really give yourself some time to question, is this working for me? On the 23rd of November, the Sun goes into Sagittarius. It now joins the communication planet Mercury in your 6th. So again, you're being pulled away from the love stuff a little bit, and it's more about where am I going in my work and what does my daily routine look like? Does it speak to me? And if you link that with all the Scorpio energy in your 5th house, it's really, do I like coming home to an empty house? Or would I prefer to have someone there with me? Or do I want to work abroad? Or do I need a pet? Or whatever it is that would give you a sense of emotional security, that's what you'll figure out and you'll be able to bring it into your life. 24th of November, we've now got Mars, the planet of masculinity and drive, also in your 6th house in Sagittarius. The elements have changed from water and earth to now it's all fire here at the end of the month, or 24th of November. I want to now focus on getting somewhere in terms of my daily routine, my obligations, how I create an income. So you're shifting away from relationships as the month progresses. On the 27th, we have a full moon in Gemini, and that happens in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. And a full moon in itself is a moment of completion, right? But for you, it happens in the 12th house, which is the last house in the astrology chart. So it really is a moment of completion, as in, this has been the journey. I now know how I feel about it, and the journey either comes to an end and is being replaced by another one, or I feel satisfied with this and I'm going to put absolutely everything I can into making more progress. So ultimately, you're like the wayfinder. You've got a compass, an astrological compass right there, and you're able to figure out what the next move is. It's really empowering. Also on the 27th, we have Venus in Libra, forming an opposition with Chiron in Aries. Libra is in your 4th of family, Venus in Libra rather, and Chiron in Aries is in your 10th. So at the very end of the month, there's this sense of, I have completed the mission here, and I really know what is required in order to heal my relationship with another person, with a job or a place or a thing. We also have a grand cross on that day. It connects Saturn in Pisces, which opposes Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. And then we have those 4 squares, creating a big red square, which is an area of unresolved friction. And it draws in the moon in Gemini and the sun in Sagittarius. So for you, it's about assessing, getting a sense of completion and feeling really solid in terms of what comes next. So you're not going to be at loose ends or at odds here with yourself, like in limbo, clueless. It's the opposite. You'll really, really know what the action plan is. All the personal planets are direct, Mars, Mercury, Venus, so it's all systems go. Some of the outer planets are retrograde, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. So ask yourself internally, what is the dream and how can I make changes in order to have a positive result? And that kind of way of approaching things is going to work really nicely for you here in November. I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. Have a fabulous November, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.